Mm-hmm.
Shall we do the circumcision or circumcise word search, starting in the book of Genesis all the way to as far as we can go today? Okay, we'll do that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Nobody's
and the
really
reason
speaking up.
why, you know, the reason why circumcision is such a big deal, because you got to remember how the church started. It started with the Jewish context. Jesus had to live a Jewish lifestyle. He had to, being born a Jew, in order to fulfill all the prophecies uh, related to the Messiah. So it's a very Jewish context, and don't ever forget that. Now, it transitioned from the Jewish context to now a Gentile or a non-Jewish, um, environment, and so you're experiencing or coming to a realization that there's a clash of cultures, the Jewish culture with the Gentile culture, and they are both learning to put their faith in Jesus as their Messiah in the Jewish, as their Christ, as interpreted in the Greek. So Jesus is Christ, Jesus is Messiah, and now they're having to transition. And in the meantime, this idea of being Jewish is deep rooted in being circumcised. So I'm gonna look up. I need a reader. Anybody want to volunteer to read? Well, I do a word search for circumcise, and then as I reference the word or the Bible verse, you can then follow along in your Bible. So who would like that responsibility right now? So in my uh, research, circumcise is 56 times in the NIV. Um, with circumcision, it's probably 72 times when you include the word circumcision and circumcise. So,
I would read Pastor Bert, but I'm not feeling so good today, so I'm going to have to back out on.
oh,
But if
well,
anybody else, yeah,
yeah,
if I
thank you
get
for your
better
willingness to,
during the class, I will let you know.
okay, thank you for your willingness. Genesis
Sure.
17:1 is the first one. So, who would like to, I can only read through the references, but I cannot read it because of the way this word search is designed. So I can only give you the verse, and
I
somebody
can
will
read
have
it.
to read
I
it.
can read it. I can read it.
Kevin, thank you,
Yeah.
brother. 17:1, go ahead.
Genesis?
Genesis 17:1, thank you.
Okay. Let me get my Bible up.
I can read it.
Okay, Susie.
Kevin, you want me to read?
Oh, I got it. I got it. I just
All right, go
We
ahead,
can
brother.
take
get
turns.
my
Go ahead. Take
Genesis
turns.
17:1. The sign of the covenant. When Abraham was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am Almighty God. Walk before me and be blameless, and I will make my covenant between me and you will multiply and multiply you exceedingly. Then Abraham fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham. For I have made you a father of many nations. I
Okay.
will make you.
Okay, where are you?
Okay,
What verse are you in now?
that's I go on this. I go on over 6.
Okay.
I
For
think
this
it's 10.
for the
Your
sake of
best not
time.
working.
Yeah, so
Okay.
for the sake of time, we're not going to read the whole section. We're going to skip. But at
Okay.
least you guys understand, when was Abraham when he was told to get circumcised? Nine, 99
99.
years old.
Yeah.
Well, how old? Oh, he was 99, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it says, right? Abraham was
Mhm.
99 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is way different from the way the Jews practice circumcision today. Okay. But this is the beginning with God telling him this was going to happen. 99 years old was when it was going to start for Abraham. And when you think along the lines of circumcision, what is the most private part of a man,
I
His
don't
His
know.
penis.
penis.
His
right?
His penis.
foreskin.
Yes.
His penis.
And
Yes.
because of that, you understand that God is very intimate, right?
Yeah.
He knows everything about you. And yeah, his penis, his foreskin was going to be the sign. So let's go to the next verse, 17, verse 10. Go ahead. I'll let you do the book of Genesis, Kevin. Go ahead.
Okay. 17 verse 10. This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He who
Yeah,
is 18,
this section is dedicated to uh, uh, giving a meaning of circumcision, giving the meaning for that. Okay. Did you just finish verse 11?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, keep reading until verse 14 because it keeps repeating the word circumcision all the
He
way to
who,
verse 14. So go ahead.
he who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised, every male child in your generations. He was born in your house or brought with money from any foreigner who is not your descendant. He who was born in your house and he was bought with your money must be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised male child who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, that person shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant.
Wow. That's it. 14.
So when you see how important this is. So
Yes.
first we're acknowledging that it's a sign, okay?
Yeah.
And you guys understand stop signs. Every time you're driving, you see a stop sign, you stop. Okay. Every time you see this sign of circumcision, which is only for the males, not for the females, God designed it that every time you are to remember the covenant, which is an agreement of promise between Abraham and God and Abraham, God promising that he's going to have many descendants, and then any other things related to the covenant has to do with land. And so, at least two basic things you can take away that every time Abraham is using the bathroom or anybody in his household is using the bathroom, male speaking, uh, they're to remember that God promised that there would be many descendants and that there would be land for them to acquire, which is a promise from God. So that's what it meant back then to Abraham and to the household of Abraham.
So
It's
the
a
Jewish,
sign,
what's
sign
the
of the
Jewish
covenant.
practice of circumcision now, Pastor Bert?
Well, we'll get into it when you get into
Oh.
Moses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now remember, between Abraham and Moses, how many years apart are they?
400.
Okay, so there's 400 years without the law telling them to get circumcised under the law of Moses. Here is a historical understanding or a historical picture of Abraham getting circumcised, okay, as God commanded it.
Hmm.
Ouch, everybody. You should say ouch. Uh,
Ouch.
I don't know about any anesthesia back then, but it hurts, okay? Now, another thing to keep in mind, since we're in chapter 17,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if you process this understanding, the Jews, today or during the time of Jesus, the Jews today are identified as the circumcision group. Okay? Because not every nation did this. I don't think any
No.
nation would want to volunteer to do this.
Mm.
Too painful. I'm not going to say, oh, I want to do it. Where'd you get that idea? I don't know. I just want to do it. Something painful. No, with the Jews, why do you Jews want to do this? God commanded us. See, they have a reason because God commanded it. But for the rest of the Gentile world, there's no real reason. And so that's what separates the Jews from the Gentiles. We're circumcised, you're not. If I go to the locker room, right? You're in a locker room and you guys are changing. Look at those guys. They're different from us, right? That's God's design. Now, another thing to keep in mind, when was Abraham declared righteous before God? Where it says Abraham believed God and it was credited to him as righteousness. Does anybody know where what chapter you find that? In Genesis?
When Abraham was at the thicket with the goat in his and
No.
With his son. With his son.
No, that wasn't the time. No. When was Abraham declared righteous? The phrase goes like this: Abraham believed God and it was credited to him as righteousness.
right.
Okay, when did that happen? This is important. You know why it's important if you give me the time to explain it, but does anybody know where to find that? It's in
No idea.
Genesis.
1724, Pastor Bert?
No,
Was
it's not.
that
It's not chapter 17.
Is it chapter 12?
No, that's when God called Abraham. It's in chapter 15.
Was that
But
when he was gonna kill his son? Or
no, that's in later on.
Oh,
It's in chapter
really?
15.
I'm way
15:6.
off. Sorry.
Okay,
15:6.
baby Catherine, our professional
I think she's
researcher,
getting close.
Yes, she
has
is.
found it. Read the text, baby
I'm
Catherine.
sorry.
Okay, Pastor Bert. Abraham believed the Lord and he credited it to him as righteousness.
Okay, so that's where you need to understand. Abraham was declared righteous before circumcision.
Wow.
You guys should really recognize and understand that. Okay? So the Jews, now you process it with me. So the Jews, right? What do they call themselves? The circumcision group. What are the Gentiles called?
The uncircumcision group.
The uncircumcision group. Now you get me?
Yes.
So when Abraham was declared righteous, which group did he belong to?
No group.
Not circumcision.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So when the Jews think about Abraham being, quote unquote Jews because of
And
the
righteous.
circumcision, but Abraham actually became righteous by God, being declared righteous while he was still uncircumcised.
That is powerful.
And that's actually explained in Romans chapter 4, but I'm giving you a summary of that, okay, as we continue to do this word search. So we go on from there, okay, so now we know it's a sign. We know Abraham started it when he was 99 years old. The next one is in 21 verse 4.
21 verse 4.
Yeah. And Kevin, I'll let you finish out the book of Genesis.
Okay. 21 verse 4.
Verse 4.
Coming up now. Okay. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 years old, as God had commanded him. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him.
Okay.
And Sarah said, okay.
Go ahead.
And Sarah said, God has made me laugh, and all who hear will laugh at me. She also said, who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? But I have borne him a son in his old age.
Where does it say Abraham circumcised them? Was that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so when when his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him. We're talking about God instructing Abraham and anybody in his household, they would be circumcised on the eighth day. Okay, this is actually reinforced when Moses gave it as a commandment to the Israelites. Now, the thing about this is that here is Abraham now putting into practice God's command, right? Back in chapter 17. Okay, so let's go to verse 34:14 now.
Verse 34.
34:14.
Uh-huh. Okay. And they said to them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one who is uncircumcised, for that would be a reproach to us. But on this condition, we will consent to you, that you will become as we are. If every male of you is circumcised, then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not heed us, and be circumcised, then we will take our daughters and be gone.
Okay, do you know the context of this story? It is when their sister, right? This is during the time of the 12 tribes, and their sister was I guess somebody fell in love, a foreigner fell in love with their sister.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm getting this off, but the idea that they're saying, hey, you want to marry our sister? Okay, we'll let you marry her if everybody in your tribe gets circumcised like us. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
All the males in your household has to be like us.
No,
What are you
thank
guys
you.
like? Well, let me drop my pants so you can see. You guys have to be like us.
Oh my.
Goodness gracious.
Do you see that? This is putting some flesh and blood into the
That's
Bible.
true love, isn't it?
And,
Yeah.
and,
For
and
love.
they were basically saying, if you really want to marry my sister, you got to do this. And
Yeah.
then once you guys do this like us, then we'll be like one nation together.
One
Like a
family.
combined nation. And do you know what they said? You know what the man who was in love with their sister said?
No,
Never mind.
No, he said, yes,
Yeah.
I know.
I
I
love her
knew it.
so much. I'm
Why?
willing to do it, and my nation will do it just like you asked.
Like I
And-
said, true
And
love.
no, because it caught on, right? Everybody does it. It caught on.
Okay, so go ahead and continue reading the storyline. Start with verse 17 and keep reading the storyline so we can see what happens.
But if you will not heed us and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter and be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. So the young man did not delay to do the thing, because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Oh boy, that was quick. He was more honorable than all the household of his father. And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came to the gate of their city and spoke with the men of their city, saying, these men are at peace with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land and trade in it. For indeed the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us as wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only on this condition will the men consent to dwell with us, to be one people. If every male among us is circumcised as they are circumcised, will not their livestock, their property, and every animal of theirs be ours? Only let us consent to them, and they will dwell with us. And all who went out of the gate of the city heeded Hamor and Shechem his son. Every male was circumcised, all who went out of the gate of the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what's going on there, right? They went ahead and did it. And now we got to read the part when they're all going to go into war. Let's go to 34:24. or 30, 34:22.
34:22.
Yeah.
Yes, a swap
34:22.
meet.
Only on this condition, excuse me, okay, only on this condition will the man consent to dwell with us, to be one people. If every male among us is circumcised as they are circumcised, will not their livestock, their property, and every animal of theirs be ours? Only let us consent to them, and they will dwell with us. And all who went out of the gate of the city heeded Hamor and Shechem his son. Every male was circumcised, all who went out of the gate of the city. Now it came to pass on the third day that when they were in pain, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword and came boldly upon the city and killed all the males.
Stop.
And they killed,
Stop. Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
When they were
yeah,
in pain and they
yeah,
were recovering.
Yes,
If you've
driven by the
ever known
pain.
anybody who's had circumcision as an adult or as a, not 8 years old, but much older, they
Vicious.
definitely experience the pain, and it
yeah,
disables them. Like, I can't move because it's so sensitive
yep,
being in a position where your foreskin was cut. What it does to somebody who just had their foreskin cut just gives you insight. They experience hypersensitivity on the tip.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
hypersensitivity that that you really can't touch it.
it's
wow.
bad.
And a lot of guys who get circumcised, they have to lie down and just wait it out.
Yeah, and it's not even close to having a baby.
Really?
Not even close to having a baby. No,
Nope.
it's not close at all.
No.
Well,
But
well, you
they
know one thing.
but they were
Some
Wah,
women,
wah,
exper-
wah.
some
yeah.
women don't
Wah,
have
wah,
pain.
wah.
I
I'm
know.
hearing too many
Hey,
voices. What was that?
I know
Say,
for one thing for sure. Every man does feel that pain, but not every woman does have pain having baby. Some women don't have the pain compared to circumcision. Some just push them out.
Right.
Some don't have pain.
It's
Okay.
true.
I don't want to go there.
But every man that's feel and you get circumcised, not as an adult. I've heard stories. Every man does feel that pain. That's why people go once they become adults and it hasn't been done. They just leave it the way it is.
Okay,
Pretty
Kevin.
severe.
All right. So Kevin's
wah, wah,
testimony.
wah.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
quick.
Can I finish? I can't have everybody interrupting each other, please. So let's continue to understand. When they were in this state of pain, what happened to them? War. They're so vulnerable. Now it's
Vulnerable.
time to fight them
Right.
and basically kill all the men there.
Right. They would
You're
lose.
almost looking at it this way. And, it's like if you were in this position where you got circumcised,
Handicap.
let's say you're a basketball team and you just got circumcised, and now you're going to be playing another team. It's an automatic loss. You're going to lose. Okay? That's the scenario here. They understood circumcision. They used it as a weapon to defeat another nation because of what this leader of this nation did to their sister Dinah. See? This is some historical stuff that you guys might have never come across unless you do a word search. So now that's what we are dealing with. And so let's go to verse 22. Oh, we did that already. 22, 24. Oh, I think that's it. So that's it with the book of Genesis. Okay? So you see the history. You see how it all started. You see how it was used as a weapon to go against another nation because of what he did to their daughter, to their sister, and they used it as a manipulation when you look at it that way, right? To defeat their enemy. So that's what you have in the book of Genesis. Okay, from there we go to Exodus. Only 3 verses. So Susie, would you like to read Exodus 4:26?
Sure. Pastor
Exodus
Bert.
4:26.
Okay. Oh, 426. Wait a minute.
Chapter 4, verse 26.
I'm not used to using a book, Pastor Bert. I'm used to using the tablet. 426.
Yeah.
And it says, when she said a bridegroom of blood, she was referring to the circumcision. After that, the Lord left him alone.
Okay. This account was Moses did not circumcise his own kids. And so his wife did it. As if to say, I'm gonna do this for you. I'll do it for you since you're not doing it, basically. And we're not gonna get too caught up into that. Only just acknowledge that his wife, I think her name is Zipporah, was the one who circumcised Moses' sons. Okay, let's go now to Exodus 12:44.
Who's going to read?
Chapter 12, verse 44.
It's hard for me to see, but I got it. But any slave who has been purchased may eat it if he has been circumcised.
Okay. So the context, if I recall, is that
Passover meal.
yeah, God is giving them rules. And so in eating the Passover, if you have a slave, right? And you know how the concept of slavery was back then. If you defeat your enemy, you can take the people as your slaves. That's just the concept of the way it was going on back then. And so if they end up becoming your property, they're part of your family in the sense. And if they're going to take Passover with you, right? They got to get circumcised first.
So it says, verse 48 says, if there are foreigners living among you who want to celebrate the Lord's Passover, let all their males be circumcised.
Okay, so now if people want to join in on being part of the Jewish community, right, and follow the Jewish customs and practices, Passover is such a big deal that nobody can take Passover unless they get circumcised. There you go. So now you have Exodus account, and that's all you have in the book of Exodus. Okay, my search keeps jumping.
I can do Leviticus, Pastor Bert.
What's that?
I can do the next one, the Leviticus.
Great. So we went from Exodus, 3 references, the requirement for people who want to practice Passover must be circumcised if they're not Jewish. I mean, everybody's Jewish. I mean, the Jews obviously are already circumcised. It's the non-Jews who want to participate in Passover. They got to get circumcised. See? If I was that guy, I was like, I don't know if I want to take Passover. I got to be really serious now. Okay, so that's what you get. Now, Leviticus, I only have one verse, 12:3. Remember, this is the law.
I have 3, Pastor Bert.
Oh, really? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, NIV 12:3. On the 8th day, the boy is to be circumcised.
Okay, that's the law now. This is the commandment. This is the law that Moses gives to the people of Israel. Go ahead.
Chapter 19, verse 23. When you enter the land and plant any kind of fruit tree, Oh, no. I think it's only one, Pastor Bert.
Okay, so it's only one in Leviticus. Deuteronomy only has 2. So take Deuteronomy 2 as well.
Okay, hold on.
Leviticus, and then Deuteronomy. That's the order.
How come hello. 10:16, Pastor Bert?
Yeah.
Okay. Circumcise your hearts, therefore, and do not be stiff-necked any longer.
Okay. Here is a different angle of physical circumcision. What is being given here is a symbolic or spiritual type of circumcision where your hearts need to be circumcised. And so while Moses was giving the law to the people, he was telling them they need to circumcise their hearts.
Yeah.
Right? In Deuteronomy. So it's not just physical anymore.
Good.
We're now dealing with the fact that God also wants them to circumcise their hearts.
Yeah.
And we will move along this idea of circumcising your hearts when you get into the New Testament, but such having a change of heart, which is what repentance is all about, right? Change your hearts, circumcise your hearts, be more sensitive to the things of God.
Born again.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at with Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16. And again, feel free to interrupt if I'm kind of off track here. But that's 10:16. And then the next one is found in 36.
The Lord your God will circumcise your hearts and the hearts of your descendants, so that you may love him with all your heart and with all your soul and live.
Okay, so here again, the first reference is you circumcise your hearts. The second reference is God will circumcise your hearts. See, it's almost like a dance. He does this, you do this, you do this, he does this, but both of you are on the same page about the idea of changing your hearts, circumcising your hearts. Okay? So it's not just you only. God also is part of that process of circumcising the hearts. This is again to the Israelites. Okay? To the Israelites. But Israelites should know this, that it's not just physical circumcision. There has to be, in a sense, a spiritual circumcision of the heart. And so some Jews don't even know that circumcision of the hearts is necessary. You know? Just as circumcision physically is necessary, circumcision of the heart is necessary. It's part of the ways of God, you could say. You know, you got to circumcise your heart. You got to change your heart. You got to have God circumcise your heart as well. It's a, it's a, a partnership of doing the same work together. And that's all you have under the law. From Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, that's the law. And that's what we've covered concerning the law. You could say the law of circumcision, you can say. But that's what we have. Okay? Now, circumcision is going to be discussed in the book of Joshua, but I don't think we have the time. Okay? Yeah. So if we continue, we'll have to start with Joshua. Okay? Because Joshua is historical, and how did they have to deal with circumcision? So you're getting a big picture of what circumcision was like, or how it was understood, or the biblical perspective on circumcision. You have it all here. And so that's what we have, guys. You could say we did the whole book of the law as it pertains to circumcision. Okay, that's it, guys. Anybody have any thoughts before we wrap it up? This is historical. Remember, this doesn't apply to us today, but this is historical because it's in the book of the law. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I think it's amazing how that we see God, we see the deity of God in the Old Testament, because you see the preparations from the Old Testament leading up to the coming of Christ. You see the changes. It went from the physical circumcision to now talking about the heart and preparation for the coming of Christ. You know what I mean? And it's almost like a foreshadowing that the law was going to get do away with. You know what I mean? That okay, you won't be living by this law anymore, but by what Jesus Christ, by the covenant of Christ. And I guess it's amazing that he saw we weren't going to be able to uphold the law, so he already had a plan in motion. The lamb that was going to be slain before the foundation of the earth, that he already knew, and that right there goes to show that he's omniscient, he's all knowing, all powerful, all everything, because he knew from the instant that he created us that we were going to be problems.
Yeah, I think just learning God's ways, show me your
Mhm.
ways, oh Lord, and how
Yeah,
God, makes us understand that we're not just focused on the physical circumcision.
yeah,
You got to
yeah.
transition to the spiritual or the circumcision
Spiritual.
of the heart.
Yes,
When we get to the New Testament, there's now the physical circumcision, which has to now
Oh, really?
have a spiritual circumcision that changes from the old covenant to the new covenant.
Inward
yes,
transformation
So that's, it's all about the transition here.
of the heart.
And
yeah,
that's why, we're just simply acknowledging, how God works through the transition from being circumcised physically to being circumcised in the heart spiritually. And all who are believers in Jesus now that you're a believer in Jesus, your heart should be circumcised. It has already been circumcised, and just like the male, when they're circumcised physically, oh, there's so much hypersensitivity for the male. Uh, and so you should have a hypersensitivity uh,
To the
to the
Holy
Lord,
Spirit.
to the Holy Spirit. All right, that's it, guys. Let's close, and then I guess Princess, you're on track for the music. So, would anybody like to close? Any
Yeah,